From a young age, we are taught that being a good person is the ultimate goal. Be kind, be patient, be understanding, help others whenever you can, do the right thing, do not hurt anyone. The promise seems simple. If you are good, life will reward you, and people will appreciate you. But the truth is far more complicated. Many good people reach a point where they feel unnoticed, unappreciated, or even taken advantage of. They give, and yet their efforts seem invisible. They forgive, and yet they feel betrayed. They stay, and yet they watch others move ahead while their own needs are overlooked. No one warns you about this part. No one tells you that goodness alone does not guarantee respect, loyalty, or fairness. That kindness, when unguarded, can be mistaken for weakness. That morality without boundaries can slowly drain you rather than elevate you. This isn't a condemnation of being good. It's an honest reflection of reality. Being a good person is admirable, but it comes with hidden truths about human behavior, social dynamics, and emotional limits. Understanding these truths allows you to stay compassionate without losing yourself, to give without being exploited, and to maintain your integrity without sacrificing your peace. Today, we're going to explore the truth about being a good person, the part nobody tells you. The uncomfortable reality, the hidden consequences, and the lessons that can help you survive and thrive while staying true to yourself. One of the hardest truths about being a good person is that kindness is often misunderstood. Many people don't see it as strength. They see it as availability. When you are always patient, always forgiving, always accommodating, others learn consciously or unconsciously that they don't need to consider your boundaries. Your generosity becomes expected. Your patience becomes routine. Your presence becomes assumed. Good people give without keeping score. They listen more than they speak, excuse behavior that should be questioned, and assume others have the same moral compass they do. But psychology reveals a painful reality. Most people respond to generosity with expectation, not gratitude. What begins as appreciation often evolves into entitlement. There is also a subtle societal pressure on good people to stay good at all costs. You are expected to tolerate disrespect because you're mature. You are expected to forgive because you're kind. You are expected to remain calm while others cross lines because reacting would make you the bad one. Over time, this creates an imbalance where you bear the emotional weight while others remain undisturbed. The cruel irony is that when a good person finally asserts themselves, sets a boundary, or pulls away, they are often labeled as cold, selfish, or changed. Not because they did something wrong, but because they stopped being convenient. The world praises kindness, but it rarely respects it unless it is paired with strength. Another harsh truth is that being a good person often attracts the wrong people. Not everyone is drawn to kindness for the right reasons. Some are drawn because they sense safety, tolerance, or low resistance. They know you are unlikely to confront them, abandon them, or expose them. To them, your goodness feels like a resource to be used. Psychologically, people who lack emotional responsibility naturally gravitate toward those who have an abundance of it. They offload guilt, chaos, and unresolved issues onto the good person, trusting that they will absorb it without complaint. Over time, the relationship becomes unbalanced. You give stability, they bring unpredictability. You offer patience, they test limits. What makes this dynamic especially painful is that good people often confuse endurance with loyalty. They stay longer than they should, hoping their consistency will inspire change. But tolerance without boundaries does not teach respect. It teaches how far someone can push. When these relationships deteriorate, the good person often blames themselves. They wonder why their effort was not enough, why their love or understanding did not fix things. The truth is simple. Some people do not want growth, they want comfort. And unfortunately, good people often become the environment that allows that comfort to continue unchecked. Being a good person also carries an invisible cost: emotional self-neglect. In focusing so much on the needs of others, good people often silence their own. They downplay their pain, rationalize disrespect, and tell themselves it's not worth addressing. Over time, this creates a quiet inner conflict between who they are and how they're treated. Psychology shows that emotions that are repeatedly suppressed don't disappear, they transform. Unexpressed frustration becomes exhaustion. Unspoken hurt becomes numbness. And kindness, when constantly taken for granted, can slowly turn into resentment, not because the person has changed, but because they were never allowed to fully exist. There is also a difficult truth about how the world responds to behavior. Society often rewards assertiveness more than morality. People who demand respect are frequently given it, even if they lack kindness. Meanwhile, good people wait to be noticed, believing effort will speak for itself. But silence does not translate into value in a world driven by perception and power dynamics. This is why so many good people feel invisible, not because they lack worth, but because they were taught that asking for respect was selfish, that setting boundaries was unkind, and that prioritizing themselves meant betraying who they are. In reality, goodness without self-respect slowly erodes from the inside. Eventually, many good people reach a quiet breaking point, not through anger or dramatic confrontation, but through emotional withdrawal. They stop explaining themselves. They stop overgiving. They stop trying to be understood by people who never tried to understand them. This shift often confuses those around them. The truth is, goodness was never meant to be limitless. Being a good person does not mean tolerating disrespect, sacrificing your peace, or staying silent to protect others from discomfort. Real maturity lies in knowing when to be compassionate and when to be firm. Kindness without strength is fragile, but kindness with boundaries is unshakable. Psychologically, healthy good people learn to integrate assertiveness into their character. They no longer chase validation or beg for fairness. They allow actions to have consequences. This isn't cruelty, it's balance. And balance is what protects goodness from being exploited. When a good person learns to say no without guilt, to walk away without hatred, and to protect themselves without becoming cold, something powerful happens. Their presence changes, their energy shifts, and suddenly they are respected more. Not because they became less kind, but because they finally honored themselves. The truth about being a good person is not that it's a mistake, it's that it's incomplete without self-respect. Kindness, empathy, and integrity are powerful traits, but without boundaries, they become vulnerabilities. The world does not respond to goodness alone. It responds to clarity, confidence, and limits. Once you understand this, everything shifts. You stop trying to prove your worth through sacrifice. You stop equating silence with maturity and endurance with loyalty. You realize that protecting your peace is not selfish, it's necessary. Being good does not mean being available to everyone, forgiving everything, or shrinking yourself to keep others comfortable. True goodness is conscious. It chooses where to give and where to walk away. It stays kind without tolerating disrespect. It helps without self-abandonment. And when goodness is paired with strength, it stops attracting those who take and starts attracting those who respect. This is the truth nobody tells you. The goal was never to be a good person for everyone. The goal was to be a good person who survives, grows, and stands firm in a world that doesn't always reward kindness. And once you understand that, you no longer lose yourself trying to be good. You finally become whole.